NBA Straya, how are you going? Hey, Gianni, good you should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, it's Tuesday, February 8, all day, and this is NBA Straya's best and worst NBA stuff of the day, and James Harden has had enough of all this winning. He wants out. It's amazing. We've got all the trade deadline latest. We've got the Giannis updates. We've got a crazy, weird day of hoops to break down very quickly for you. I'm your host, James Clements, here in Larry Armour Studios. Let's get into it with the daily. Is it some sort of whip around, Jim? That's right. Plenty of news to dig into today. We did a big show yesterday. It was really fun. And I'm like, all right, Tuesday be pretty chill. It wasn't chill at all. It's absolute chaos out there because we got the big Mannix missile, the Shams bomb. James Harden is sick of all this winning that the Clippers are doing and doesn't want to be a part of it anymore. The Los Angeles Clippers and 11-time All-Star James Harden are working through whether the sides can find a deal by Thursday's NBA trade deadline. Both sides are aligned in conversations together and with interested teams. This is awesome. My favorite part is it's literally a classic Harden sabotage move. They've just gone 15-4 before this news broke. They lose today. They've got the best record in the NBA since Christmas. And James Harden's like, nah, not good enough. You don't know how hard I've worked to turn this ship around, and I don't even get an all-star nod because my dumb owner and the other super duper star over here, this bloke, Kawhi, have done some dodge stuff in the background that I didn't get any cash from. I'm out. Peace. I've got way too many strippers to put through college to not get paid under the table, says James Harden. It's amazing. He's on this $39.2 million contract this year for $42.3 next year. What we've seen reported already so far is that Darius Garland, Cleveland, that's right. Cleveland! Cavaliers point guard de jour. That is just a straight swap. If that's what the Cavs want to do, I don't reckon they should do that. Personally, I'm not entirely convinced that the defensive nous of the backcourt of Donovan Mitchell and James Harden is probably going to help your title chances in the East, but here we are. Anyway, so it's actually interesting because Harden for Garland can kind of work. It's one of those random things that the Cavs are just like, oh, God, we can do that? We're allowed to? Amazing. Because I think the Cavs can do it even as an apron team because Harden makes slightly less money than Garland. And the Clips can actually go up a tiny little bit in their payroll because they're not an actual apron team yet. So, not bad. Call it in, shall we? I don't know. But this is just classic James Harden. Goes to Brooklyn, who's like, oh, wait a minute. Nah, we're too good, and this seems very hard. I'm out. Goes to Philly. He's like, we're pretty good. Nah, this seems too hard. I'm going to LA. Gets to LA. Hangs out. He's like, oh, wait, we're too good. I want out. What an absolute lunatic. Absolute mad dog. I mean, just at some point, you're going to say to him, hey, James Harden.
Stay off the weed.
I'm just saying, what are you doing? I mean, yes, we understand that you've got a lot of gentlemen's club dancers to put through college. It's a lot of beard oil. I absolutely understand and empathize about the beard oil, not the strippers. It is really hard to get stripper glitter out of a beard. Again, not going to call myself an expert there, but I can imagine. But James Harden wants out of the Clippers. We got a Shams bomb, a Mannix missile. Very fun times. Literally just before we jumped on to record. Other little bits and bobs from the trade deadline. Nothing's actually happened today, but there's a bit of noise around. So Toronto are apparently interested in the Souvlaki King, Domantas Sabonis. Kind of don't mind that. They've got a lot of size on the perimeter. Maybe they can sort of help put up with his defensive shortcomings. I don't know what's going to go back in that sort of deal, though. And I don't know. The thing is, if you can make a deal with Sacramento, do it. Because they'll do something dumb. They'll be like, yeah, actually, I just have one of our picks. And you're like, I didn't even ask for that. Sick. So, yeah, Toronto, Sabonis. We'll see what happens there. Giannis. All the latest Giannis news. Apparently, there's a pick-heavy deal from the Warriors on the table. There's a player-heavy deal from Minnesota who are trying to rope in third and fourth teams to sort of sweeten their deal. Miami's sort of in between with Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Terry Rozier in his contract. and as many picks as they're allowed to basically trade and swap for the minute. And apparently Giannis not so keen, maybe going to Steph's team at the moment with that Warriors deal. He's kind of like, I'm not so sure. Remember last time how Kevin Durant went to Steph Curry's team and everybody thought he was a loser despite winning? It's like, yes, that's very, very smart of you, Giannis. Apparently the Knicks aren't being aggressive and chasing after Giannis. I mean, they've sort of won some games in a row. I talked about this yesterday's show. And apparently Dame Lillard is working hard behind the scenes in Portland to get Giannis there. And Giannis apparently, again, isn't wildly keen on going from Milwaukee to the incredible media-centric bastion of awesome population centers, Portland. I, for one, am surprised. I just want to go where I can win. Okay. Anyway, so that's the Giannis latest. We also have a little bits and bobs of other news. Terry Rozier is going to get paid his contract this year, which I enjoyed because the NBA is like, we're not going to let you get paid because of the betting scandal that you were indicted for. And the arbitrator brought in by the Players Association, the league, was like, hey, you can't be put on unpaid leave according to the thing that you guys all signed unless it's domestic abuse or child abuse. You said nothing about gambling on your own games, you dummies. Amazing. Jason Kidd got fined $35,000 because he just absolutely went ham on all the refs the other day. That was pretty fun. He also did some naughty words. I can't believe you get fined for swears. That's incredible. And the last little bit is that LeBron James, we talked about it in this yesterday's show as well, how I basically feel like he's out with the Lakers at the end of this year and he goes home for one last round in Cleveland. I think it's just what he's going to do. He's going to try to do the storybook ending. It's the kind of dude he is. He'll do that, have a crack. Maybe Harden's just trying to beat him there and just go, well, LeBron, you come join me. I'm still going to get paid all my money, though. I'm not taking any sort of like minimum deal. So, yeah. Anyway, we've got lots of different reporters talking about this LeBron-Lakers sort of split that apparently feels inevitable, which is funny because in the way that LeBron going to the Lakers initially felt inevitable, it kind of feels like this will just happen at some point. Will it happen before the trade deadline? Probably not. I think they just roll the dice for the rest of this season. Then he just buggers off to wherever he wants to go next year. Players of the week were announced in some good news. Amazingly, Brandon Spindles-Miller got it for the East because my beloved Charlotte Hornets are crushing it. He averaged, a lazy 26-5 over that stretch. And Dylan Brooks won it for the West. Amazing. 28-4. So that was pretty fun. There's more talk about snubs and all-star rosters. I'll talk about that on tomorrow's bigger show. We do the bigger show on Wednesday. The Kawhi Leonard one is still probably the thing I didn't bang on enough about yesterday. Because I was very busy talking about Josh Giddey and talking about, LP Şengün. But Kawhi's numbers, when you just stack them up against basically, half the dudes on that West squad, you're like, oh, this is 100% Adam Silver going, I'm definitely not going to let you play in the All-Star game, Kawhi, because of all that salary cap rotting you did. So you can't do it even though it's at the Intuit Dome. I mean, the Aspiration Dome. I mean, the Intuit Dome. So this is one way the NBA punishing the LA Clippers and Steve Ballmer. Basically, I reckon we'll see a big finding and a huge hammer come down on the Clippers after the All-Star break, because obviously the NBA are smart enough to go, hey, how about we don't shine the world's biggest spotlight on a huge salary cap wrought furor as we're about to host our All-Star game in that team's new arena. So yes, I expect it on maybe the Friday after the NBA comes back where no one cares. And I reckon that might be why Harden comes out. So we'll talk about that on Outback Takehouse tomorrow. Hey, let's do some quick game wraps from today. We had a New Orleans Charlotte afternoon special, 102-95. The Hornets held on. That's their 7th straight win. They are crushing it. I love it. Houston outlasted Indy. They fought back. They look like they're going to lose this for a bit. 118-114. No Kevin Durant, no problems. Well, enough problems where you're like, woof, that was a bit too close. I mean, they didn't miss many free throws until the very end of this game, and then LP Şengün and Amen Thompson apparently just forgot how to hit free throws. It was very, very annoying. Minnesota lost to Memphis 137-128 because Ty Jerome is back, baby. Woo! He is crushing it. Only his second game back, and he is absolutely putting up massive numbers. You had the Joe Ingles versus Jock Landale battle that we didn't get, which is a shame because Jingles didn't play. But they would have probably smashed a few tins after that game. Minnesota, this is a game you got to win, and it's the sort of thing with the trade deadline. This is the sort of team that are obviously trying to pull off a Giannis trade. And this is the worry the week of the trade deadline when you're trying to talk about players. We talked about this on the NBA Supercoach show and Jim Does Supercoach. Yeah, it's a bit bloody fraught when you got half the team going, am I going to be here tomorrow? God, Ant-Man knows that he's going to be, and he was still good, but yeah, they couldn't keep up with Memphis. Ty Jerome, he crushes it. Then Philly absolutely slapped down the LA Clippers without James Harden, obviously. He's out for personal reasons, a.k.a. One of my stripper girlfriends is probably having a kid, or I have a graduation for one of the other strippers I put through college, or I'm just still at the Rippers, and I don't want to be in LA anymore. I want to go back to Houston. To be honest, that would actually be a good fit, wouldn't it? Harden back on Houston. Anyway, Ime Udoka would love that. 128, 113. 6 is beaten. Maxey goes off his head. He was awesome down the stretch. 29, 5 and 6. Dominic Barlow, 26 and 16. He was unreal. Who was the NBA Straya Pro Performer of the night, though, Jim?
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Well, it wasn't Joel Embiid with his 24 and 5, though he was pretty good. It's going to go to Alpi Şengün, who had 39, 16 and 5. Yeesh. Shot 13 to 25 from the floor. Was actually going a little bit better until he missed a couple late. But anyway, that was an awesome game. Without KD there, he just went, all right, boys, jump on my big Turkish shoulders. Honorable mention obviously goes to Maxey because he was absolutely fantastic. Spud of the night.
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
Spud of the night. We had a 2 of 12 effort from Big Deke Bay, Sadiq Bay. Jose Alvarado, Grand Theft Alvarado. Ripped off a pretty rough one as well. He went 1 of 7 for the day. And look, I don't like, dragging the rookies because they have a tough time of it anyway. And Spuds of the night are pretty, you don't want to kick them while they're down, you know what I'm saying? But by the same token, we did get a 1 of 11 effort from VJ Edgecombe. So, yeesh, not great. But I would like very much to thank our man Miles Bridges, that piece of crap, for going out and delivering a really nice... Oh, yeah, there it is. Chill. Woo! He shot 311. You beauty. That guy still sucks. Who was Old Mate No Mates today?
Old Mate No Mates.
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 Who's got no mates today? That would be Charlotte Hornets head coach Charles Lee, who collided with his superstar made of paper mache point guard LaMelo Ball. When the ball was going out of bounds, Charles Lee's like, ooh, I'll grab that. The ball was still live, and LaMelo was charging after it, and they collided on the sideline. What are you doing, Charles Lee, you big dummy? I did like his approach, though. He's like, stupid, coach. Stupid. So he's going to berate himself in the next team meeting, which is pretty fun. And definitely Old Mate No Mates. You are far less valuable to that franchise, Charles Lee, than LaMelo Ball. Just saying. What are you doing, you dummy? Pantsing of the night. That would be like every defender on Philly when Kawhi is just like driving through the paint and just yamming on like 2 of your dudes. He did it like twice. Come on, Philly. Wake up. That's an absolute pantsing. And also Reggie Miller comparing Caitlin Clark. They basically gave him a layup. It's like, hey, Caitlin Clark, you're on this broadcast. Who does, who are you sort of, molding your game after? Meanwhile, Reggie Miller is kind of standing next to her. And he's like, you know what I think? Peyton Pritchard. Yes, the very best women's player is like the 78th best men's player, you morons. Reggie Miller, just amazingly stupid stuff once again. And not being able to see that, he maybe like someone like me a shooter who can handle a tiny bit and do some stuff. Just what an idiot. Who was better than Lonzo Ball today, though, Jim? Let's find out.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. He's coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. Dominic Barlow, a.k.a. Dominic Toretto Barlow. Family. Be familiar. 26 points for the Sixers young man. 26 points, 16 rebounds. To go with 2 assists and 2 steals. He was awesome. Absolutely dismantled the Clippers. Honourable mention going to Johnny Furphy, our mate Froths, for getting 14 minutes as a starter today. 2 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1-on-1 from the floor. Not bloody bad. On your tins. All right, quick one. Let's get into tomorrow's games. All right, remember you can find all of our picks over at Double. Use the code NBA Straya. Hit the link in our show description or in our social bios. They're all there. Let's do it. Game previews. Game previews. Thanks, inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. You were born here. I grew here, or whatever it is. Tomorrow, we've actually got some cracking Wednesday games here in Australia for your hump day. I'll tell you what, Denver at Detroit, that is a ripper. Nikola Jokic, hello, is back. They're in Detroit to take on this Pistons team that is like looking pretty, up and absolutely about. The Pistons are 3.5 point favourites at home. Look, Denver, they do have Jokic back. They've got Jamal Murray as an all-star. It will be interesting to see if Jamal plays this week when they've got all-star next week, right? Like you got to always be careful of these 2 weeks leading up to all-star. They'll rest some of these veteran guys, trying not to overwork them heading into all-star. I actually don't mind Denver in this one, plus 3.5 in Detroit. I think Detroit can still win this, but I think Denver give them absolutely everything. Between Jokic and Jamal, yes, they are missing Gordon and Brown and a bunch of dudes, but be a really, really big test for Detroit to see if they can keep up. Detroit can still win this, but I'll take Denver plus 3.5. Utah go to Indy after the Pacers played today against the Houston Rockets. I'm going to take Utah plus 4.5. It feels like one of those weird double tank games. Indy try hard. They play hard. Utah will probably come in. I'm just going to take the points here because the swings in games like this are just really hard to predict, right? Who's going to try hardest out of a 13-37 Pacers team and a Utah team that's 15-35 and actually probably needs to keep losing more? They've currently lost, 6 on the trot have the Jazz. I think they lost by 7 to the Raptors, 10 to the Nets, and I think they can keep this close with Indy on a back-to-back. We'll just take Utah plus 4.5. The Knicks go to Washington. Mr. Knickerbockers go to Washington. The Wizards are 13.5 point home underdogs. I'll take the Washington Wizards. I think the Knicks should beat them. I think the Wizards have just got a little, like if Keyshawn George and Alexander Sarr and co can actually just hang for a little bit, they're not as bad at home, the Wiz, so I'll take the plus 13.5. Brooklyn are at home to the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers are 8.5 point favorites on the road. I actually like this a little bit more. Brooklyn, I think, will really struggle without MPJ, and their young dudes are, well, we don't know if MPJ is already out, but I don't think he will be. No Reeves, I think, for the Lakers. I'm going to take Los Angeles minus 8.5 in Brooklyn. That crowd will be 75% Lakers fans. Atlanta go to Miami. This is a ripper. Southeastern Conference, division rather. Atlanta plus 4.5. I'm going to take that against Miami. I think Miami, again, are one of those teams where, look, the vibes are very, very, very high for them at the moment after the anniversary of like their, they did this Heat Gala thing. A bunch of their old players back there. Pat Riley looking sprightly. I'm still going to take Atlanta plus 4.5. I think Miami win a really close one. Boston go to Dallas. I think they smoke them minus 7.5. I'll take the Celtics. Thank you very much. Too much shooting there to keep up for the Dallas Mavericks. Chicago go to Milwaukee. No love lost here, man. I'm going to take the Bulls minus 3.5. They should carve up this Bucks team that is inexorably bad. And we've got Orlando in OKC. That's a really sneakily okay game. I'm going to take Orlando plus 7.5. OKC have looked a little bit wobbly of late. Orlando, not that great on the road. They lose to the Spurs yesterday. But I think between Bane, between Banchero, etc., I think they can put up a bit of a fight, can't they? They've got Suggs back. They've got Black. let's go the Magic plus 7.5. I don't know if they win, but OKC look a little bit sketchy here and there. Philly, Golden State with the Sixers on a back-to-back. It's going to be a tough one to get by Steph and co. I'll take the Warriors minus 1.5. Then we've got Phoenix at Portland. We'll take the Blazers plus 4.5. The Suns are sneakily just sort of carving teams up. The Blazers are looking a little bit janky at the moment. They've lost 5 on the trot. But I feel like the Blazers are going to give us something. They got some good news this week about Scoot Henderson being back and feeling healthy. So say the Blazers to lose a close one to Phoenix. But there you go. That's it for today. Remember, you can find all of our daily picks over at Dabble. You can watch the video every morning, NBA Coffee Run with NBA Straya. We've got all of our vibes and daily picks over at Dabble. The link is in the show description or in our social bios. You can also help support the show. buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. Help support the show. Get exclusive shows delivered to you that no one else gets to hear or see. Go check it out. buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. But that's it. There you go. That's the best and worst of the NBA today. Tune in to NBA Straya every day for everything NBA. Subscribe or I'll fight you. This is NBA Straya saying, look after yourselves, would ya? Oh, yes, mate. And later, Hosen.
Not performance getting loose.